Can volunteering help you grow personally and professionally and even help you find your path? I'm Lauren from Roadtrip Nation, and today I'm on a mission to answer those questions. 75% of Gen Z believe our generation can change the world. But right now, only 30% of Gen Z workers believe their employers are making that kind of positive change. That feels like a big disconnect. And it's why I want to explore how volunteering can help us all feel more empowered to create that positive change and maybe even connect us with more meaningful work. So I'm spending the day with some coworkers and friends from organizations that are building community and fighting food insecurity right here in Southern California. Today, we're here with Rachel, my coworker, who in her spare time volunteers with an organization called Homie Made Meals. Could you tell us a little bit more about your role here at Roadtrip and what we're doing today?
Yeah, I'm the HR generalist here at Roadtrip. I've worked at Roadtrip for 4.5 years, and today we're making meals to be part of the Homie Made Meals distribution. Homie Made Meals started during the pandemic when a lot of shelters or other kind of community service orgs had to close or had to change, what they were doing. So it was kind of a way to activate a network of people who could either be people who prep food or people who can bring the food to those organizations and support people and provide fresh, healthy meals.
Awesome, cool.
Yeah, I usually volunteer about once a month, and sometimes I make meals, I make sandwiches or other things, and then most of the time I actually just drive around and pick up meals that other people have already made. And so I'm kind of the one who can take 20 meals from 4 different people, fill my car all the way up with food, and then bring it to a whole group of people who need that food.
Wow, that's really nice. Awesome. Okay, so today we're making turkey sandwiches, so let's get started.
Yeah.
I am not the best cutter. I will be honest. We're not gonna use this one.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of my coworkers also volunteer with Homie Made Meals, so I feel like I get to see friends or, coworkers. I've met a lot of people that I wouldn't have met otherwise, and now we're crying because of onions.
So, are there any skills or knowledge that volunteer work has helped you develop?
Just kind of being in new spaces and being comfortable in, unfamiliar spaces. Those are just really useful skills to kind of feel confident when you don't always know everything that's going on. And I definitely have felt that in my volunteer work for sure.
That's really nice. So now that these meals are done, what typically happens? What's the next step?
So the next step is that a Homie Made Meals driver will come and get all of our sandwiches and also a bunch of food that other people have made, so they can fill their whole car up with food and take it to kind of the distribution center where all of the food will then get passed out to people who need it.
Wow, that's really nice that there's different options that are accessible and convenient for people's schedules. It really makes it a lot easier to get involved. So next we're gonna go and head over to the Peace and Healing Center in LA and hand off these meals. See you there. So we're headed off to the Peace and Healing Center now in LA, and we're gonna go drop off the sandwiches we made and meet some of the community members and organizers over there.
We are in the Creating Justice LA Peace and Healing Center in downtown Los Angeles, more specifically Skid Row. Really, it's just a resource center, a space for community who's living here, whether they're sheltered or unsheltered, to just have a safe space to go to. We serve free coffee, volunteers will donate meals, clothes, hygiene, whatever really the basic needs are that people need. And really we're just trying to create a hub for people to have safety, have a place where they can hang out, be in community.
There are more people who are housed in Skid Row than people who are houseless, right? Though we are the houseless capital of America, we still have people who are housed in single residency occupancies. They call it SROs. And the housing is not up to par, right? It's a little bigger than a jail cell. So here at the Peace and Healing Center, if it's too hot outside, you can come in here. We have AC, right? You can get you something to drink for free. So just building community.
Behind us over here, this is our stage. So we have every week on Thursday nights, we have an open mic. We feel like self-expression is very healing, and so just trying to create a space for people to have a dignified, creative experience, Every Wednesday we have a book club, and so this is often where it takes place. And then over here on the left, we have any sort of resources like food that gets donated, groceries, drinks. And then this is also where we serve free coffee from, tea. Over here we have a clothing rack and some bins, and so people can donate women's and men's clothing. This is one of my favorite spaces. It's the meditation room. You know, a lot of folks need just like some peace and quiet to just kind of relax in, and it's really amazing when you see people just getting some rest and being able to provide that sort of safety for folks. I left my career in education to pursue community work more deeply. I also started a nonprofit on the side doing that called EIKes. Yeah, just over time, volunteering and just trying to find my path has led me to here. I met Melissa from Polo's Pantry, and at the time when everyone was sheltering in place, she was saying that unhoused people typically get food from volunteers going out and serving food, but since we couldn't do that, there's a big gap. And so, yeah, we were like, maybe we can do 100 meals and just like get people to make meals at home and then see if other people are comfortable doing like contact-free delivery. That idea has turned into almost 140,000 meals over the last few years. Volunteering gets you closer to issues, and so it's hard to like think about solutions from the outside, and I think that's kind of an issue with how a lot of solutions are created in our society. It's not from the people who are actually living the experience. I think a lot about how volunteering is really just about learning. It's about learning about people. Me being here, it's like I learned so much from just people's experiences because I just have my own.
I don't think people are projects, and oftentimes we treat it like a project or something to be accomplished. People often think that they are helping people, and the truth is that you are, but it's reciprocal. For me, community building is just removing barriers that allows people to see their potential and creating space for growth, for innovation. We're focused on individualism, right? Who's the GOAT, the greatest of all time? When I started doing this work, I realized how foolish that was. When you really think about it, when you go back to our ancestry, we're not individualistic type people. We're village people. You'll feel that vibe when you're in here. It's about community.
I think with the new world that we're walking into, this sort of like village sort of collectivism, I think, is at the heart of what we need to do to be able to survive this moment in time.
People come in here all the time and say, this is the space where I feel at home.